I'd like people who own stocks to use these ETFs to get into XRP. I think there are now more than 25 applications for different things that have XRP as an asset or as XRP as part of a fund like this one. As you saw in the video about the multiplier effect, getting 5, 10, or $20 billion could have a big effect on the price. That's what we're waiting for. Here, let me show you. Bill Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, wrote this letter. It's one of the crypto-positive things you'll read. Okay, I'll read it all to you. Let's go. It is a demonization to tokenize. The plumbing that the world's money flows through was built back when traders still yelled orders and fax machines were new and exciting. Not many people remember fax machines, do they? Some people watching might not know what that is, but man, we had one in our house. You see, my dad used to get texts every night. When he sent a message, I would run and bring it to him. That was like, what was that? The 1990s? Please take this and go back to that. I'm sorry. Let's look at SWIFT, which stands for the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. It's what makes global deals worth trillions of dollars possible every day. And it works a lot like a race with teams. Before they hand off directions, banks wait. Or, should I say, check the details carefully at each step. They use the that or that communication method. I'm just not used to seeing these words together. That relay method made sense back in the 1970s, when markets were much smaller and there weren't as many deals every day. It's like sending emails through the mail when you depend on SWIFT these days. If anyone remembers the days before the internet, I know I'm getting a little old, but people used to write letters instead of emails. Who else started to send letters once emails became common? Right now, the post office is mostly used for Amazon packages, right? Thanks a lot, post office. Goodbye. Yes. All of that changes with tokenization. Tokenization is like email itself if SWIFT is like the mail service. Without going through middlemen, assets move straight and instantly. What does tokenization really mean? It turns stocks, cash, real estate, and other real-world assets into digital tokens that can be traded online. Similar to a digital deed, each token proves that you own a certain object. Unlike traditional paper certificates, these tokens are stored safely on a blockchain. This means that they can be bought, sold, and transferred right away without having to fill out a lot of paperwork or wait. Tokens can be used for any product, including stocks, bonds, funds, and more. If there are, it will change the way people trade, because markets won't have to close. Transactions that take days to settle now could be completed in seconds, and billions of dollars that are stuck in payment delays could be put back into the economy right away, which would lead to even more growth. First, wow. I mean, do you know what's going on here? If you don't know Larry Fink, he told us the same thing in these interviews, but now he's talking to BlackRock, which is, you mean all the investments, right? This will be read by everyone with money in BlackRock, everyone who works at BlackRock, and anyone else on the internet who is interested in this. We want to bring together a lot of people to help them understand what the new future will be like. We've been right on the mark. We've always been right? We had been talking about this on the channel for years, even before Larry Fink came out and said it. We knew it was going to happen. We did the study. In our hearts, we knew this was real. Let's check it out. I believe there is more to this than meets the eye. Wait a minute. This was written by someone else. Let me. What's that, you ask? One more thing I'd like to talk about. That's why I told you about tokenizing stocks, bonds, and real estate around the world. It's true that he wants to make things very easy for people to understand. He used this example that a lot of boomers or people around my age will understand, right? Those people own most of the shares in BlackRock. They are the ones he is talking to. People aged 40, 50, and 60 are the ones he's talking to because they're likely to have the most money to spend. Really, I just found it very interesting how he went up and talked about this. It also says that tokenization makes buying much more democratic, which may be even more important. If so, it can make entry more open to everyone. Partially owning something is possible with tokenization. That means things could be cut up into pieces that are infinitely small. This lowers one of the hurdles to investing in valuable assets like private real estate and private equity that were hard to get to before. So if you don't know what he's talking about, when you tokenize something, you can basically split it up however many times you want, with each token representing a piece of that object. Let's get a house. A lot of people can't buy their first home because the prices are too high and they might not be able to afford it. There will be crypto or tokenization projects that turn real estate into tokens, and people will be able to bid on them. You might only own a fifth, a tenth, a 21st, or some other fraction, but you now own that asset. You can apply the same way of thinking to all the big assets you know and understand. It can open up votes to everyone who owns shares. When you own stock in a company, you can vote on shareholder proposals. It's easier with tokenization because your ownership and voting rights are tracked online. This lets you vote easily and safely from anywhere. Keep in mind that many people aren't paying attention to the performance of their stocks. It's not always easy for us to remember everything we own, just like when we buy crypto. This is the same thing. This means that people who own certain stocks will be able to vote and take part, just like in a DAO. Really cool. It says, "One day, I expect investors to know as much about tokenization funds as they do about ETFs." That really is a big claim. As long as we solve one important problem, Larry Fink always says that ETFs have been the most important thing in the last 10 to 20 years if you listen to these conversations. He has been way, I don't want to say overdone. It should not be said that way. He's really excited. ETFs might be better described as hyped. That, he says, is the future of money. ETFs and tokenization? This really is a one-of-a-kind step. When dealing with money, you need to do thorough background checks. Credit cards and Apple Pay make it easy to prove who you are billions of times a day. For buying and selling stocks, trade places like the New York Stock Exchange and Market Access were able to do the same thing. But tokenized assets won't work through those channels. So we need a new way to verify people's digital identities. What do you think Ripple has been working on for so long? This is exactly how they set it up, because this is part of the proof process banks use when they deal with money transfers. Compliance, and more compliance. That's what Ripple has always said they've always followed, because they work with the world's biggest banks. And no one will work with you if you don't have that piece. Yes. Okay. It sounds hard, but India, which has the most people in the world, has already done it. These days, more than 90% of Indians can safely confirm purchases on their phones. It's easy to understand. Tokenization support alone won't help you build a banking system that works well and is easy for everyone to use. We also need to figure out digital proof. Really, this is crazy. Please do me a favor. I'm telling you this news because I think you care about the channel and me. Let's try to get 10,000 likes on this video because it has some of the most positive news I've read in March. It's April Fool's, I know, it's not a joke. This is really bad. Help more people see this by sending it to them. You can do it. This movie about XRP could become one of the most watched on YouTube. You're really helpful. Thanks a lot, and this was written by Chad Steingraber. With tokenization, BlackRock is moving full speed ahead on everything. As soon as possible, people will try to tokenize things. Okay, the question, how is it going to work, has always been there. Is it going to be okay when you start to tokenize assets? You own things worth trillions of dollars, right? I believe the world's bond market is around $113 trillion. The US stock market is worth between $40 and $60 trillion. Different parts of the market have different prices. How do you begin tokenizing that? Does it happen one at a time or all at once like a huge wave? Okay, a lot of people think it will be a huge wave all at once. I think that once they start doing this and see how simple it is, they'll realize that it's not that hard. There are a lot of activities that everyone can see. It's really open.